So today there was a Pokemon Direct and everyone was kind of hoping that, hey, maybe Pokemon will finally be announced for the Switch, which kind of didn't really make sense to me considering E3 is around the corner, but it was interesting. Like, why is Nintendo doing a Pokemon Direct so close to E3, especially when they could just announce this sort of stuff at E3? And to the dismay of many, they did not announce a Pokemon Streamline game for the Nintendo Switch, but they did add something to the Pokemon universe for the Nintendo Switch, and that is Pokken Tournament, which of course is a port of a Wii U title. Now all of a sudden people are starting to realize that Wii U titles are very, prone to coming to the Nintendo Switch, and there's pretty much two sides of the camp. There's the good side, the people that like this sort of stuff, and then the bad side, the people who don't like this side of stuff. So I decided to take a look at both sides, look at both of the criticisms, and see if we could find some sort of middle ground. So, Wii U ports on the Switch. Is this a good idea or a bad idea? Let's find out. So on the bad idea side of things is where we're going to start, and I think one of the main points that people are starting to say is that Wii U owners have already played this game, and a lot of Nintendo Switch adopters are probably those Wii U owners. Yes, the Wii U only sold 13 million consoles, but if you owned a Wii U, your bread and butter was pretty much the Nintendo games on the system. So whenever Nintendo dropped a new title, you pretty much went out and bought it if you wanted to have anything to play on your Wii U. So in that breath, a lot of people have already played Mario Kart 8. A lot of people have already played Pokken Tournament. And yes, things are being added to these games, but at the core, it's still the same experience. Not much has changed. It's just some added content. So if you played the game to death, you have a good valid criticism as to why should I buy this again? I've already played this game so much. Why is added content, supposed to be my incentive? I've already put my money into this on the Wii U, and people can feel a little bit burned by that. And another thing that sort of brings about, sort of a negative cloud is the fact that now the system is almost being perceived as the Wii U 2.0. Three of the main games for this year that have already been announced and, confirmed, two of them are already out, that being The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, also available on the Wii U, Mario Kart 8, also available on the Wii U, and now Pokken Tournament, also available on the Wii U. So it does sort of give that stigma of the Wii U 2.0, and a lot of people are afraid of that stigma because they feel like that will drag Nintendo down. That will be, a bad look for Nintendo, and I could totally see that point of view as well. The final thing that a lot of people are saying is sort of how the Switch is having that same sort of start that the PS4 and the Xbox One had. One thing that Wii U owners could always hang their hat on was that whenever a game came out for the system, it was an exclusive game. Nintendo wasn't making the same game on another platform. Whereas, the PS4 launch and the Xbox One launch, there was a ton of remasters in the first year and a half or so. And, people used to make fun of that, but now it's like the shoe is on the other foot. Now we are the Nintendo Switch owners are the ones getting the remasters of the Wii U games. So it's kind of come full circle, and there is some negativity going on about porting Wii U games for the Nintendo Switch, and I definitely see that side of things. Now, of course, with bad, there are good things that this brings about, so let's talk about the good things. So when it comes to the good side of things, there's a lot to talk about, I think. One of the main things is that, yes, I mentioned that a lot of Wii U owners picked up Mario Kart. A lot of Wii U owners picked up Pokken Tournament. But at the end of the day, there was only 13 million of those. And the Nintendo Switch is already, being projected to way outsell that, possibly in the first fiscal year. So 13 million in the grand scheme of things is not that many people. Over half of the install base picked up Mario Kart 8, but Pokken Tournament didn't sell nearly as well. It still sold very well, but not nearly as well as Mario Kart 8. So for a lot of people, this is a whole brand new game. A lot of people may have stopped playing Mario Kart at Mario Kart 7. They may have never picked up the Wii U version of the game because they never bought a Wii U. Same thing with Pokken Tournament. Honestly, I own a ton of Wii U games. The Wii U was one of my favorite systems along with my PS4, and I would always pick up the mainline Nintendo releases, whether via review codes or just purchasing them. and I never picked up Pokken Tournament. I played the demo, I thought it was really fun, I thought there was a lot of promise with it, but I never ended up buying it. You know, the game never really got a huge price drop or anything, so I never felt the incentive to buy it. And I think that's very interesting because I consider myself, you know, a hardcore Wii U fan, yet I never played Pokken Tournament. So to be able to play it on the Switch is actually a very positive thing for me. I can play it anywhere I go, and I'm interested to see in the, you know, the beefed up capabilities. You know, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe got a nice, you know, shine of paint on it with 1080p, 60 frames per second. So I'm interested to see what the final product of Pokken Tournament looks like in terms of visuals and aesthetics and things like that. So I think that that's a positive thing. Another positive thing is it's more games. You know what I'm saying? A game like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe probably wasn't all that taxing to bring over to the Nintendo Switch from the Wii U. You beef up the graphics, you add in the battle mode, and then you're done. You know, the core game remains the same. And it's the same sort of thing with Pokken Tournament. You're adding in some new characters, but the core game remains the same. You beef up the graphics, and now you have another title for the Switch in the first year. You know, there are still games like ARMS, Splatoon 2, Fire Emblem Warriors, and Super Mario Odyssey, which are brand new experiences only available on the Nintendo Switch. I sort of see these as just supplemental content. You know, if you want to pick it up, go ahead, pick it up. If you're not interested in Pokken Tournament, you're not interested in playing more Mario Kart 8, no big deal. But I think for the most part, it's good that Nintendo is doing this. I would rather have too many games, no pun intended, to play than not enough games. Because on the Wii U, we didn't have enough games. There was never enough games. You had 1-2 games, and then that was it. You know, you waited a couple months, if not longer, for more games, and I don't think Nintendo wants to make that same mistake again with huge droughts. So these sort of things like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, these things like, you know, Pokken Tournament, these are just intermediate content. This is just stuff put in the middle of the releases so that you're always having a game to play. There's always something new, and there's always something to play on the Switch. So in the grand scheme of things, I definitely see the negative camp. I definitely see why they're upset. I definitely see some of these issues that they're talking about. But I think on the wider scale of things, it's more good than bad. I would rather more people be able to play my game than just limit it to one console that didn't sell very well. And I think, you know, pretty much any developer and any publisher would want the same thing. They want their games to be played. They want to make sales. They want to make money. So if you can get some people to play Pokken Tournament on the Switch, people are already playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch, you know, it's a good thing. It's a good thing for the company. It's a good thing for all those involved. And at the end of the day, it's a good thing for gamers. I would rather have the choice. You could still play your Pokken Tournament on the Wii U online. You could still play your Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U online. You're not really missing out on anything unless you want that additional content. So because of that, I'm saying this is good, just don't go overboard with it. You know, there are definitely a lot of titles I would like to see that were exclusive to the Switch on, exclusive to the Wii U on the Switch. I would love to see a revamped Bayonetta 2 with like a little prettier graphics, maybe some sort of side mode or something. I loved that game, but don't go overboard with it. I don't want to see new Super Mario Brothers Wii U Switch version. I don't want to see, you know, just anything that came out on the Switch ported. Be selective and be smart with your selections. And I think gamers in general will have no problems with this sort of, you know, easy access games and quick ports to the Nintendo Switch to beef up that first initial year library. So, what do you think of this? What did you think about the Pokemon Direct in general? Were you surprised that there was no Pokemon game for the Switch? And what do you think of Pokken Tournament coming to the Nintendo Switch? Do you think it's a good move for Nintendo or a bad move for Nintendo? Will you even pick it up? Let me know all of this stuff in the comments section down below. As always, thank you for watching this video. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. Check out other videos on the channel. If you really like my face, check out my Patreon, and I'll catch you guys next time. Later.